Welcome back to the Stone Lizard Hop Show. I'm your host, Diego, and today we are going to go ahead and talk about worm castings, right, little amigo? So, as for worm castings, you could always have a pot sitting somewhere, you know what I mean? And if it's in the soil, likely there's going to be worms right under it. And during the wintertime, yes, worms are still productive even though the soil is frozen. There are certain sections that are unfrozen and they will bundle. During that time, breeding period starts into the spring. Now, all those weird little bubbled up clusters, those are all worm castings. Beauty about worm castings are they're very high in nutrients because you got something that's eating soil and producing fertilizer from soil. And at that point, that soil has become highly enriched with mycelium and tons of other goodies. So, if you wanted to, you could just scoop some of this stuff up, throw it in a pot, go and let the worms emit that are going to be left in the shell casings out of there. You could also just take that and you could just brew it down into a compost tea with the aerator. Start feeding your plants that are inside. Or you can even take it and use it as topical soil or soil mix. Right now, everybody's getting their plants ready. Pretty important information to know. I do recommend look up El Pinto T5 worm juice. That's going to give you a very, very huge definition about the potentials of using worm juices like that. They work from foliar sprays all the way into a bug deterrent, which is really cool. And if you're on an organic path like me, then you're going to want something like that. That's going to be the ideal measure of going. So that soil on top, which carries a little more acidity. This year we added some ash and some manure and some compost on purpose, and we're going to let it break down over the wintertime. And from there, it heats up out here in New Mexico around anywhere between 40 and 50 degrees during the wintertime. And that helps create bio breakdown, refreeze, bio breakdown, refreeze, bio breakdown, refreeze. So very slow motion of it. At that point, this is going to be soluble for using for whatever the ideal point would be. Is there's garlic in there now. After the garlic, we'll go ahead and we'll place the seminary point probably in our greenhouse. And then what we'll do is we'll plant peas in it. They'll produce nitrogen with those worm castings and everything else that's all good in there. And from that point on in, we will be able to use it for blueberries, blackberries, whatever we're going to use it for. And so that's just a quick scenario of what I'd be using the worm castings. Worms will also adduct themselves up into pots from the ground, so they will come into your pots, allowing aeration, many other different types of qualities that are going to come into the product. And from there, you'll have a stronger type of plant capability. So this is your quick minute with the D-Man. And I hope some of this might have been informational. Go ahead and check out that site I was telling you about, El Pinto Worm Juice, T5 Worm Juice. I learned about it. After that, I've been using it religiously. It works great. And, I used it to even sprout these peach trees that are actually still staying green throughout freezes and everything from seed. So, this is how beautiful that product works. So go ahead and take a check out. Thank you for watching me.